Very good afternoon. The topic which I'm going to deal with today is how to write a short story in English. Have a look at this image. It will give you a lot of ideas, okay, how to begin to write your short story writing or maybe to improve your short story writing. What sort of ideas have you always wanted to write it down? Now it's your chance. Let us talk about some of the important tips, okay, in order to improve to write a short story. One of the important and foremost tip which I wanted you to develop, that is pick a theme. So here what I wanted to tell you that pick a theme is all about the topic which you are going to choose. Let's say that okay, if you are comfort in writing about or maybe to write a story about your puppy, or maybe to share some of your experiences, the places where you visited, etc. So, picking a right theme to begin with a short story is one of the important step in story writing. Have a look at the second important tip which you need to develop in your short story writing. It is always better to make a plan because when you organize things that will shape your ideas in a proper order. So make sure that okay, you always plan like what to write and what not to write in your short story, which is very essential and important step, which includes in short story writing. And third one, that is pick a point of view. See, when you start writing any academic writing, it is always important to know or to get familiarity with which person, in which person's point of view you need to write a short story. You need to decide like how you are going to tell your story, whether it is in first person, a third person, or second person. But according to the standard format, we always either we talk about in a first person or a third person, but we never talk about or maybe to write short story in second person. So make sure that you begin with that depends on a context which you are story which you are going to talk about and how you are going to write, whether it is in first person or third person. But don't ever go with third person. Write the actual story in English. Sometimes we feel really difficult to write the stories directly in target language, that is in English. So if you're not quite comfort writing short stories in English, make a habit of writing stories based on your experiences or maybe based on themes which you wanted to speak about. To write in your mother tongue. First, you write all the ideas and whatever the ideas which you wanted to put on, write in your mother tongue. Then you translate all those okay ideas or maybe story into target language. Definitely, it will take time, but it is very crucial in the beginning. Okay, when you start writing short stories. And fifth important point, keep it very simple. Short story, the name itself says that okay, it has to be very precise and clear and neat and clean. So it is always better to keep your short story very simple and neat and clean so that your story will be very effective. See, one thing you have to remember that when you talk about writing short stories, it's not that you are talking about okay multi-book series packed full of characters, political intrigue and dragons. You are not writing for them. Short story is meant for okay to enjoy. If you enjoy writing your short story, you can get that later. But to start with, make sure you keep your short story very simple and precise and understandable. And you also might want to have a specific length in mind. Yes, length of the short story is very important when you start writing a short story. And stories can be really short and still be very effective to convey the meaning. And let me tell you, when you talk about this flash fiction, for example, and that usually falls in between 150 to 1000 words long, so that your short story will be very precise and clear, but still effective. And sixth point, which I wanted to talk about, okay, to write your short story very effectively, finish it with happy ending, because which is a proper conclusion, because which is very crucial to any kind of short story. So I wish you all the very best and start writing short stories. It doesn't matter. Initially, you might be making some mistakes, but still don't worry about it, because as we have a saying that we learn from mistakes. So make mistakes and learn from them. Thank you. All the very best.